Hello everybody, it's Colin Ellis here. Just had a false start because there was a fire alarm. There I was, merrily talking away, and then the fire alarm went off, which wasn't great for the video. So I had to restart it. Hello. It's another Culture Briefing. It's Monday the 14th of November, and I'm in Germany. I'm in Munich. So, guten Tag. I know what you're thinking. Colin, when did you learn how to speak German? Well, let me tell you, it's a long flight from Australia. No, Google Translate. To all the people at Google Translate who produce the app, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So yeah, I've got a good culture story actually in the paper today. It's kind of a bit of a tenuous link, but actually when I arrived at the hotel, it was full of Americans in American football jerseys, and I'm like, something went on here yesterday, didn't it? The Allianz Arena, where Bayern Munich play. So that's who I know. It's just up the road. I passed it here on the way from the airport. And yesterday there was an American football game. This is the München Merkur paper, which is Germany's Bavaria paper. So I don't know if you can see there yet. There we go. There was an American football game here yesterday between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks, if you're into that kind of thing. The Buccaneers won, which is good if you like Tampa Bay, I suppose. But in the paper it talked about how they're looking to expand the NFL and how it's good for the brand of the NFL. So I thought I'd just kind of talk a little bit about the link between brand and culture, because often there's a lot of confusion between the two. Now, the brand is a kind of, it centers around a product, right, or a person, but usually a product. So in this instance, the brand is the NFL, the National Football League, which is American football. All right, so it centers around the NFL as a brand. And typically brands they're global in nature. Or they can be, actually, they're both. They're local and global. I'm very much focusing here on the global brand. And really what organisations do is they put their brand front and centre. And in the past, the culture used to be the workplace culture used to be the little black box that sits behind the brand. So you never really found out what went on in the little black box. All you saw was the brand. If you think about sneakers, all right, you think about the sneaker companies, you see the brand, and they often have cool taglines attracted to them to promote the brand that stick in your head, you know. Think about Nike's Just Do It, right? That's very much about the brand, but then we didn't see what went on behind it. And that's changed. Really in the last 5, 10 years, that's really changed. Because what we're now seeing, or what the media are interested in, is the thing behind the brand. And in fact, what often makes the media is the culture behind the brand and not so much about the brand itself. Now, the National Football League is really, really interesting because it's made up of a bunch of teams, demonstrating my real knowledge of the National Football League. I want to say 32. That immediately leapt into my head. I don't know why. I'm not a big NFL fan. I want to say 32, but it has 32 teams as part of its brand, and each of those teams has its own brand. And actually, if one culture behind one of the brands is broken, then it affects the brand of the NFL, which did. There's a number of allegations been made against the Washington team. All right, and so that's under the spotlight, and that affects the NFL brand. So that when the media talk about the organisation, they're very much talking about the culture of the NFL and the brand and the thing that it puts out there and it said that it stands for. So the culture really is made up of, it's kind of these emotional connections between people, right? And the work that they do to support the brand. Now, if you get your kind of pitch right, your brand attracts the kind of people that you need to work there in order to continue to elevate the brand, right? And there are a lot of great cultures out there who don't do so much work around their brand, and that then the brand acts as a magnet for people. But what goes on inside the box, being very handy here, what goes on inside the culture black box is no longer a black box, it's now a clear box. And so websites like Glassdoor have really removed the mystique around cultures, and it allows employees to talk about their cultures in a very open and honest way, so we can actually see what goes on behind the brand. Now, what the brand will do is tell stories, and then what the culture is connected by human stories. So it's not necessarily connected by, with the NFL, it's all about athlete stories. It's very much about the human stories. What are those kind of people-to-people things that we do? And so the culture has a strong set of values. Right? Usually there's a purpose or a vision, something that it stands for. Then there's a strong set of values which provide that emotional connection. It's important that we do the work to talk about, well, what they actually mean in practice, because only then are they lived and kind of not laminated. And then it's up to every individual to bring the right behaviour, to work together well, and to find time for new ideas, such that the brand is elevated. So when the NFL or any brand talks about it's good for the brand, it needs a machine of people behind it that feel connected to each other, such that they kind of are able to bring to life everything that the brand stands for, which is things that they feel. Now, the culture is where we deliver the results, so it's only when people get the brand, they want to be part of the culture, and they work together successfully to achieve the results. So if a brand is kind of putting forward the cutting edge, if a brand is kind of saying we're a market leader, we're doing this, that and the other, then the culture behind what the brand is, right? So what's in the clear box behind has to support that. So if you say you're cutting edge, then you have to be highly innovative. You have to give people time to come up with new ideas. There has to be kind of lessons that you learn along the way. You're not afraid to fail. It's got to be safe to speak up, all of these things. So the brand really relies on a vibrant culture in order for it to keep growing, and in order for it to project what it actually stands for. And using the NFL's case, which is what I'm talking about here today, if they've got a really good culture of people behind them, and each of the teams has got a really good culture, then the thing that they project is the thing that actually exists behind. And consequently, you get harmony, consequently, you get results. The brand is enhanced, the culture is enhanced, and everybody's a winner. Hope you've enjoyed today's Culture Briefing. Speak to you soon.